Hey, welcome back. I'm Tyler. This is our coffee bar in our house. We're gonna remodel this entire space, but in this video, we're gonna be focusing on just removing and demoing out these cabinets. If you're doing a project like this, bless you. I know that you're going through something heavy at home. I'm sure that your wife's being a real jerk and really making it hard on you. This video is gonna be particularly helpful to those of you who are lone wolves, tackle projects mainly by yourself. I've got some tools and some tips that'll help keep you safe and avoid any unnecessary damage along the way. First step, make sure and remove all of your decorations. We've got a Life is Sweet sign up here. Life is sweet. With all of your stuff removed, we're gonna be removing these doors now. So this is going to lighten the load, but also help remove a complication when you go to remove this carcass. You don't want this door swinging around and smacking you. And the screw, if you can see in there, is a Phillips, but it also will accept one of those Robertson head screws. The Robertson head are a little harder to strip out, so if you have one, I recommend using that bit for removing these screws. I like to do the top hinge last. Next, we're gonna be removing these shelves. There's different ways that shelves are attached. Some of them are attached permanently and you might not be able to take them out. Others have regular shelf pins, which will sit in here and it'll usually be metal. I've got these plastic shelf pins that kind of have like a retention clip on them. So you have to push the clip in and then lift the shelf out. I need 2 hands to do that, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm just gonna press these in. We're gonna take this one out first and then we'll be able to get them out. If you've released the clips and you can't shake it loose, you probably have a clip like I do behind the center stile here. We're gonna remove that trim piece, and then there's like little gap hiding trim that's on both of the sides that we're going to also remove. So let's work on this crown molding one first. There's likely either caulking or paint between the trim and the carcass. So this is a good time to take that utility knife and just run it along the seam here, and that'll help when you go to pry this away that it doesn't try and continue to stick, so it'll cause you issues. But this is held on by nails. You can see I've got a little tiny nail hole there. Brad nails or pin nails, not usually glue, so you should be able to fairly easily pry this off. I recommend gloves just to make sure that you don't stick yourself with one of those nails. All right, so I'm gonna take my utility knife and I'm just gonna run it right under here. Also up against the wall. Yeah, so mine's fixed pretty good. I'm gonna use my pry bar. And it's gonna be a similar story here on the sides when you remove this trim. Again, this is just to help hide the gap between where the cabinets were installed and the wall. Usually your cabinets aren't a perfect fit for your wall, and these help hide that imperfection. So again, take your trusty box cutter on both sides. Be careful. If you're gonna resell these, this is one of the reasons why we are being careful here. You can make money by reselling these cabinets or reusing them. If you move them from your kitchen, which is where this is, they would be great for your garage. These would look great in a washroom or laundry room, right? Or if you're gonna sell them, you can get $50 to $100 for this set of cabinets and recuperate some of the money for your overall project that you're working on. And I've got this little, I keep a really crap chisel around, specifically for stuff like this. It's like a construction chisel. So I use it for all of this type of stuff to get in here and pry stuff. I use it for tile work and all kinds of things. There we go. Now see, there's the gap, right? So they take a little piece of trim like this, put it up, and then nail it in place, and it hides this ugly space. And if you are going to resell these, if you're being careful, list on your classified ad, gently removed. That way people know that you didn't just trash it, pulling it out off the wall. There we go. And this one actually, they put a wooden spacer right there. That's interesting, I've never seen that before. So, like I said before, these are two separate cabinets joined together to look like just one big cabinet. You'll see if you get close, you'll be able to tell where the seams line up, right? So this is where the two different cabinets meet. And then on one of the sides, usually one of the sides, you'll see that they have screws holding the two cabinets together on the face frame. In this case, they look like Robertson square bit screws. So we're gonna remove those, and then we'll look at the hardware that's holding the cabinets actually to the wall. There's a bunch of different ways that they do that. And as you can see, these are nice long screws that'll hold these two face frames together. And just because this has been painted multiple times, I'm gonna run my utility knife down that seam as well, just to break that up for when we get to the point where we remove these. I want it just to come off free and clear without any fuss. I'm trying to take care because I don't want to mar up the surface unnecessarily. As you can see, yeah, so those are now separate. Cool. Okay, let me show you the different ways that cabinets are mounted to the wall. The method that they've used for the cabinets in my house are Robertson screws, and they use these little caps to help distribute the load around the screw so the screw head doesn't get pulled through the plywood backing here. So this helps distribute that load, and it looks like they're just going straight into the studs with these. I've got 3 up top, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 down here, and it looks like none on this side. We'll investigate further to make sure. And then I have 2 up top here, 1 here, 1 here, and then I've got these little, I don't know what that is. That was probably an accident. And they just covered it up with a little sticky. Yeah, I think those were just accidents. But things to look out for you, you may not have this same type of method for hanging the cabinets. Sometimes they hang them underneath, so you'll have your screws up under here. I don't see any in my case. There's also up on the back lip. Let me climb up there and I'll show you. Forgive me, I did not clean this before this, but that back lip, sometimes they'll have screws driven through there into studs. Now they can go straight through into the studs with long screws. There's also a hanging method called cleats. From what I see, it doesn't look like that was the method that they used to hang ours, but you never know. There could be a surprise back here. Either way, the method's basically gonna be the same. Remove any of the screws that you see and make sure that the cabinet's supported somehow. This is where the trick comes in. So these are 36-inch trigger clamps, and yes, the trigger here helps them clamp, but you can remove this piece with this little screw here, and mine are from Harbor Freight, but I will search the internet and find some suitable replacements for these as cheap as possible, and I will put a link in the description so you can check those out. Instead of it going like this, you remove it. So this now goes on the bottom, on the opposite side. See? And the screw goes back in, same way. And now I have a spreader. So when I pull this clamp, it pushes away. I could use this underneath my cabinets to support them, 2 of them, to support these cabinets, so I don't need another person here. So now these will help hold the cabinet while I loosen these screws, and then when I go to pull it off, they'll fall free, and then I can set the carcass down. See? And I wanna make sure that they are fairly straight. I've got the second one over here, so that should be good. I got my gloves on because there are still some exposed screw or nail heads here that we will rip out later. This is where strength comes in handy, and these make me feel strong, so I'm gonna be wearing them.
Give me your other hand!
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No! Get it away from me!
I will remove the top ones first so that I can be down closer to the ground where I can manage this and help pull it away from the wall. Yeah, so these screws definitely go through the back of the cabinet and through the drywall and into the studs. So that's how they set these ones up. That one is fully stripped. That one is just in the drywall. So now, this is where it gets hairy. Prepare yourself. And the last screw here. Okay, there we go. All right, let's take a look at the back of these cabinets so that you can understand what's going on back there as you're removing things. So this is a super basic cabinet style. These are called nailers, right? This is a panel, this is the back panel, and these nailers are put in place to give the cabinet rigidity, but also a place to screw or fasten the cabinet to the wall, right? So all of the screws that we removed came through this nailer, and this helped hold the cabinet to the wall. You may have something similar to this, but like I was saying, they're like cleats. So I went outside and cut some cleats just to show you how this is supposed to work. I've got boob sweat, so don't look at that. This is how a cleat works, right? So in place or on the nailer, people do this all kinds of different ways. They'll have one that like sits flush with the sides of the cabinet, but they may also attach it to the nailer. There's a bunch of different ways. But basically you'll have a cleat, it sits like this. You have one side, this side will go up against the wall, and this side will be on the cabinet, and it holds together, right? So a cleat goes like this, right? So it becomes basically a little cliff for one to hold into the other. And so if you saw when I was removing the cabinet, I wasn't sure they could have done cleats. I didn't think so just because these are such cheap cabinets. This is kind of more of a nice cabinet hanging method. So anyway, when you get into it, you may have a situation like this. And so if you can't remove your cabinet from the wall and it feels stuck, even though you've removed all of the screws, you may need to lift the cabinet up to remove the cleat from being engaged, right? So anyway, there's a visual for you. Hopefully that helps. I haven't seen a lot of people explain that online either, but that's another hanging method. And I just also want to say, removing the doors and the shelves is a cool move, dude, especially if you're doing this by yourself. This cabinet, the carcass alone probably weighs 50 pounds. And I think the doors and the shelves probably weigh another, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds. So you're saving your back. Trust me, it's worth the extra steps to remove all the crap inside and then worry about just the carcass itself. Your carcass might even be heavier than mine is. Remove that crap, trust me. All right, and we're gonna do this again the same way, and I'll show you, oh yeah. You know, like I was saying, that one had many more screws in it. This one only has 2, and as I go to apply my clamps here for support, it's moving already. So just be careful. There's a lot of shoddy installers. That is not very much support to hold this in place. I bet that this would have fallen already if it wasn't joined to this other cabinet. So just, you know, be vigilant, warriors. Be vigilant out there. Okay, so we're gonna be careful. I don't have bottom screws now to support this, and this one feels like the paint isn't holding it together like that one was. So fingers crossed I don't get hurt. Ooh. Hey! And there you go. Now we have a space that's 100% uglier than it was when we started. Congratulations. If you've got an ugly space like this and you're looking for ideas on what to do, we're going to be adding some floating shelves here. I'll also be removing this brown granite countertop and back and side splashes to put in a white oak countertop and redo these doors and drawers. So if you're looking for some inspiration, feel free to subscribe and follow along. Otherwise, thanks for hanging and demoing with me today. I hope those tips helped. I'll see you in the next video.